Hello again. In this session, I'm going to take you through how to calculate inter-rater agreement. And this pertains directly to your assignment, and the example I'll use is directly related to your assignment as well. So your assignment using the rubrics to evaluate the departmental assessment reports, and so you and a partner are going to calculate your inter-rater agreement. You're going to do this through a simple way of calculating percent agreement, but then you're also going to, I'm going to take you through how to calculate Cohen's Kappa. We're going to use unweighted and weighted. Don't worry, we've got a website that'll do the statistics for us on that, which will make it a bit easier. So this is our rubric that you work through. And so if we were to have, let's say, two raters here, we have Serena and we have Sam, and they both rated the psychology department. And so you'll see here that for outcomes, Serena thought it was a 3, and only a 2 for measures, and a 3 for the process of data presentation, and then a 2 for the last category. And then we have Sam here who gave 3s for the first part, and then a 2 here. So you'll notice here there's agreement on all of them except for here, the measures. Serena thought it was a 2, Sam thought it was a 3. So if we look at this, we've basically got we've got 4 common measures here and 4 common pieces here, and 3 of them are exactly measured exactly the same, and 1 of them there's disagreement on. So what we take is the percent agreement. There were 3 times where there's agreement. That's out of 4 categories. 3 divided by 4, we'd say our percent agreement for this would be 75%. So that would be the easy route of calculating the percent agreement for that particular category, and we see that here. So when we put it in this table, these are the times in the green areas. That's where we've got agreement taking place. So we had one time where Sam said it was 2 and Serena said it was 2. We had 2 times where they both said it was a 2, and then we had that one time to where Sam said it was a 3, but Serena said it was a 2. Okay, and so this percent agreement would be 75%. If we go down to the next department, so they also both rated the English department. So if we look through this one, they both agreed on the on the outcomes one, that it was emerging. They both agreed on the measures as well. They both gave that a 2. But you'll see this difference here on the third one, data presentation. Serena thought gave it a 3, and Sam only gave it a 1. And then we've got that they both gave it a 2 on this last one. So for this as well, we've got a percent agreement, you'll see, of 75%. But with this, when we start going through kappas, when we say unweighted and weighted, the difference between the two is for the unweighted, Kappa doesn't really care whether or not there was a big difference. You notice this is a big difference between if Sam's saying it's a 1 and she's saying Serena's saying it's a 3, as compared to if Sam would have said it was a 2. That's only a 1 category difference, where here's a 2 category difference. In the unweighted, unweighted Kappa, it won't figure that out. But in the weighted one, it will take that into consideration as well, as it should. That would be correct. For us, we've got basically what we consider an ordinal scale. That is, a 2 score is definitely better than a 1 score, and a 3 score is better than a 2. So we've got ordinal measure here, and so the unweighted kappa is what we're going to want to, the weighted kappa is what we're going to want to focus on for this. So you'll see if we put both of them together, the ratings for the psychology department and the English department, we've got 4 to where they both agreed that they were 4 times where they both agreed on that there was ratings of 2. We've got 2 times where they both agreed there was a rating of 3, and then we've got these 2 to where they have a disagreement on. Again, in terms of percent agreement, we're looking at 75%. Okay. What we want to look at next, though, is how to calculate Cohen's Kappa for this. And so this is the website that will be on Moodle for you to go to for this. So the first thing that you're going to need to do for here is to select the number of categories. And you'll remember for us, we have 3 categories, right? You know, we had the beginning, emerging, and proficient. So we've got our 3 categories. For the weightings, we just keep this as it is right there, and that's again a little beyond this course for this, but those weightings are what it is that we would actually want. And then we need to do our data entry. So for the data entry part, I'm just going to basically plug in this into the table on the website. So I'll put those numbers in. So again, we had 4 times to where they both agreed that there were 2s. We had 2 times where they both agreed on 3s. We had 1 time where there was a disagreement. One said 3, the other said 2, and then we had this 1 other time to where there was a bigger disagreement there. Sam said a 1, Serena said a 3. Then we just hit calculate, and then you'll notice it calculated the totals just like what we had in our table. And then we go down here and we see we've got the unweighted Kappa first, that has it at about 0.52. And then we've got the Kappa with linear weightings. So you'll notice the Kappa with linear weightings is a lot lower than the unweighted Kappa. And the reason for that is because of this one area to where we had the big disagreement, where Serena said it was a 1, and Serena said it was a 3, and Sam said it was a 1. That's what causes this big drop here in the linear weightings one, because this measure is taking into account the extreme different categories in terms of the ratings. This unweighted one is just taking into account the times in which there were differences between the 2. So what does this mean? So when we look through this, here's how we interpret the Kappa values, and for our weighted linear weightings, we had a 0.37 roughly. That would just be considered fair agreement. Okay, you'll notice here overall we had this 0.54 for the unweighted Kappa, which would have put it in the moderate one. But again, the weighted one is really probably more accurate for us here. So that's a process for going through this, for calculating Kappa. Again, what's nice is you get to use a website for this. You don't need to really worry about the rest of the information on here. This gives us the information really is what we would need for this class, and really what ends up being used by assessment personnel. There's actually a lot of assessment personnel that might not go to Kappa in terms of figuring out agreement, but this is the correct route to go. Why Kappa is better than the percent agreement, because what Kappa gets into is there's a lot of times to where just randomly we're going to match up just by random, and so it takes that into account, and so it's a fundamentally a more accurate measure of the inter-rater agreement.